Capricorn, happy February. Hope you guys are doing well. I feel compelled to shuffle these a little bit more, but then I'm just going to jump right in. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys had an amazing January. Thank you so much for the comments, likes, subscriptions, shares. So appreciated. I love doing this, so thank you. Situation right now, everything's looking really good so far. You know, you guys have the world at your fingertips, which is excellent. I hope you guys had an amazing birthday in January. Maybe you guys really set some goals. The lucky thing about being a Capricorn is that you can kind of tie your birthday year goals in with your New Year's resolution. So it's kind of a little bit easier to follow through on the resolution when it's also your birthday goals for the year, right? So that's excellent. Recognize that you know you're doing well. The goals that you've set for yourself this year are totally aligned with the universe. They're totally positive. They're totally creative. And go for it. 100%. Go for it. If you have an inspired thought, you owe it to yourself and you owe it to the universe to at least try to get it off the ground and ask the universe for help. You know, ask for some signs. Ask for some, a flow. Ask for who knows what is needed in order to accomplish those goals. Sometimes it's just a person. You know, I was just talking to a Capricorn the other day, and we were realizing, like, it doesn't matter if you have an amazing idea and you don't have the time to execute it, or you don't have the finances to execute it. That shouldn't be a factor, because if you have an excellent, inspired idea, people will invest in it. People will give their time and energy into it because they realize how amazing of an idea it is. So sometimes it's just about finding the proper connections in order to get your goal off the ground. And it really has nothing to do with you except for your inspired thought. You know, my dad was saying he wants to be a millionaire, but I'm getting old now. I'm like, Daddy, you could come up with an idea and then just sell it for $1 million. Boom, you're a millionaire. like I know it sounds crazy easy, but sometimes it's just a moment's change that creates that miracle, right? So just expect it. Be realistic and expect miracles, okay? Situation, definitely forward motion. It's slow forward motion. It's kind of like on the grace of God right now. You guys want to move forward, but there's still some feelings here in your stomach, some uneasiness, emotionally not necessarily there, still too humbled, still too kind of focused on laying the groundwork and not enough focus on allowing source to speak through you, allowing that inspiration to come through. Yeah, so just keep swimming, just keep moving forward, because it might be a long stretch and it might be rocky, but if you're doing it with an open heart, an open mind, and with source coming through you without having the mask on of, this mountain goat, this person who works hard, who's ambitious, who, a lot of times Capricorns kind of need the fancy cars and the fancy clothes in order to show other people that they're successful. But if you don't feel it in your heart, other people are seeing right through it, and it just looks superficial. And after just reading for Scorpios, I can't even go there. I'm a Capricorn rising, so I absolutely know what it's like to feel like I feel really powerful in a suit. I feel like I can conquer the world when I'm in a power suit, but it's just a uniform. It's just a mask, essentially. I should feel that sense of empowerment completely buck naked in all of God's glory when you really stop to think of it. So recognize that, we need to just flow with it. Just keep swimming. Take the mask off. Take the shield off and just go with what feels spiritually right, not what feels society right or community right or opinion right based on others. It's all based on your own inner authority. Obstacle and an aid, this soulmate, this relationship, this growth here, wanting to really intertwine yourself with another person on a completely spiritual level. Sorry, I keep saying a lot. Like, it's your responsibility. You want this fiery passion in a relationship, but it's just not there. So that's an obstacle and an aid. Once we can move forward emotionally, we'll able to see growth within our relationship. We'll be able to give ourselves that opportunity to bring passion and bring fire and to bring just whimsical nature back into our relationship. We could turn any relationship into a soulmate situation if we wanted to. It's really about how much effort and how much positive energy you want to put into the relationship. One of the things I try to do is write 10 things a day that I'm grateful for. And if I'm having a hard time with my husband, those 10 things are all the 10 things that I love about him, because it just changes the perspective around. So if you're finding that your soulmate relationship, your lover, is creating kind of a barrier to your progression, a barrier to your growth, to your forward moving, especially when it comes to your emotional forward moving. Sometimes it's just about writing down 10 things that you love about that person, and it changes the perspective around. And right now you are absolutely able to do that from a creative place. So I urge you guys to give it a try. If this resonates for you, okay? Subconsciously thinking about moving on, thinking that maybe it would be easier just to move on, feeling like maybe even though you don't know where that would lead, but it's almost like it feels better just to move on. So that's your prerogative. I'm just letting you guys know what's going on subconsciously. If you feel like you need to move on, you should honor those feelings, absolutely. And if it is feeling like you need to move on within a relationship, that's also something that your spouse or your partner deserves as well, is your honesty and your emotional feelings, and your ideas and your thoughts and your logic when it comes to the relationship. Give it open-heartedly. Feed it out, dish it out to your spouse, and period. I don't feel good here. I want this, I want that, period. It doesn't have to be an ultimatum. It doesn't have to be, just be honest. Just release the haze, because relationships, especially when you're in a relationship, the other person 9 times out of 10 is feeling the same way. Sometimes it's out of politeness that you don't even want to kind of stir or rock the boat. Capricorns are earth signs, so they're very sure-footed, steady moving, incline, moving up like a mountain goat. Mountain goat can be on the side of a mountain and never fall, but they're easy prey for a hunter, right? It's like target practice for them. So keep that in mind. Yeah, you might be sure-footed, but you're also easy prey for those who want to snipe you out, okay? Thinking that you've accomplished a lot, thinking that you're completely empowered with the years of training and the years of goals and the years of planning that you've made. You've really built that framework. You've really built that foundation. You've worked hard for it. It kept you on your toes. And now you're starting to see kind of the cracks in that plan. And you're wondering if it's time to walk away. You're wondering if it's time to just call it in and just move on. So you put in the work, but subconsciously you want to move on. And like I said, this relationship is really stopping your growth here. It's really quite the obstacle when it comes to moving on. You can't even see the horizon. It's like, where am I going with this? So I'm leaving that with you guys, okay? Something that would have just immediately passed. You recognize the support that you have in your family and friends. You recognize, and it very much humbled you. It was very flattering to realize that you have tons of support when it comes to family and friends. They've always had your back. They've always been there kind of turning your head. And you finally just are realizing what's there, and it's a beautiful, amazing feeling. So run with that, okay? Allow that to be your groundwork. Allow that to be your foundation that you need. Sometimes it really is just the family and friends support that we need to carry out our dreams. And if you're not feeling supported in a relationship, it's kind of your responsibility to try and find a way to find a way to support yourself without it being contingent on other people, okay? So future card is some stopped motion, more of a focus, more of a guard up, especially when it comes to your finances. Because you've worked so hard for what you've accomplished, you kind of want to bask in it a bit. You kind of want to dig your heels in and just take a step back and just bask in what you've accomplished. That's fine, but just don't linger there, okay? There's so much to accomplish, especially in relationships. There's a lot to accomplish, so don't linger there, okay? You feeling like there's something being revealed to you, feeling like Somebody's true colors are starting to come through. You saw that maybe they were two-faced. You saw that they made it seem like they were completely built up and they were like a pillar, like they could be your pillar of strength. But now you're starting to see that it was egoic. It wasn't pure. It was almost like they were using your status or your stability, your warmth, your comfort to get ahead, even if it was just to get ahead for them emotionally. But you're really starting to see that, and you're really looking at the finish line here. So I'm just letting you guys know, like, subconsciously, you want to move on, and you're looking at the finish line. You're looking as it's like almost like a saving grace, because you've finally been able to see this person's other side. You've finally been able to reveal what you've already known in your heart, but you weren't listening and you weren't speaking your mind about it. This person has finally revealed themselves to you, their true colors, and it's time to work with that and to realize that when someone shows their true colors, believe them. You know, they're not lying. Okay? Family, friends, huge battle here, huge fight for competition, fight for freedom, fight for change, just huge battle, huge feeling like, you know, you're competing with your family and friends instead of being on the same path. You definitely did feel supported in the past, but now it's like that support is impeding on your progress. You know, it's almost like, well, they supported you in the past and now it's your turn to support them, right? Sorry, it's almost like they've danced around it for too long, and now they're like, well, I've put in my work, and it's time for you to start stepping up. But that sucks because you're ready to move on, and that's your right. If you can recognize, yeah, you've supported me this long, I love you, thank you so much, but your support, I don't need it anymore. I'm ready to move on, but I acknowledge what you've given me, and I love you for that, and I will do what I can to give back to you, but I can't give you what you need in that capacity because I don't have it. You know, I'm ready to move on and do my own thing because I'm completely empowered. I'm completely realizing what I have. I'm more focused on my empowerment. I'm more focused on my finances and what I have. You've revealed your true colors to me, and it's just a competition now. It's all egoic. It has nothing to do with love anymore. It's not a soulmate relationship anymore. It's almost like it was a forced situation. Like I said, they've supported you like it was their responsibility to support you, but now you're realizing that you want to move on, but there's guilt there, okay? So hope and fear. You hope to put these ships out when it comes to a relationship. You hope to kind of use what you've learned, what you've gained from the world, and put it out somewhere else, because that's what you want. You want something else for yourself, but that's also a fear. What does that change mean? I'm telling you right now, Capricorn, if you're going to make any changes, you want to do it this year 100%, because this is the year to plant those new seeds. It might not come to fruition instantly. You might be alone for a little bit. You might be kind of wandering solo for a little bit, but everything is all part of a divine plan. It's what is needed. So you hope that you can put out your ships when it comes to a relationship and really and oversee it in a different capacity, but you also fear that, okay? So recognize that fear. When you can recognize the fear that you want to put out something else, you want something else, you're going to put out energy in another aspect or another avenue, that can be fearful, but once you recognize that fear, you can clear it a lot easier. So the outcome is this change of mind. So this could also be a older emotional man who's over 34, who's either a Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. Someone who is decorated, someone who either wears jewelry or loves to buy jewelry, someone who's always been like, good job to you. He's kind of been your cloak. He's been your he's been the one to look forward for you. He's done a lot of that for you. And that's where this sense of empowerment has come from. Well, this Cancer or water sign has looked out for me for so long. I need to recognize the empowerment that he's given me, and I need to take a step back and realize that I'm completely, alone now, because this guy has given as much as he can give. He's supported you enough for you to start moving on. And you have the universe's support, 100%. It's almost time to just get the message that it's not going to be painful, that it's actually going to be a celebration, and you can start moving forward. It doesn't have to be a painful process. It's only as hard as you make it. Like I said, when someone shows their true colors to you, you have to believe them. So because this wasn't a 100% positive reading and it was more telling you guys what to do, I'm cutting it short because I'm noticing that when I don't have an uplifting read, I get completely drained, and that's why I've been getting sick a lot more, because of course it's not always going to be rainbows and butterflies. There's always going to be lower reads. So I'm not going to stay here in this present moment for too long because it's just too draining. And if I'm reading that on a Capricorn reading, I urge you guys to recognize that same draining energy that comes from staying in a stagnated place for too long, okay? I'm done. So I love you guys. I'm not trying to offend. I'm really just trying to tell you what the cards are saying. Thank you so much for all of your support thus far. Really loving doing it. I hope you guys have an amazing February, and I'm definitely hopeful for March. So I will see you guys in March with more uplifting readings. I promise you that, okay? Bye, Capricorn.